Welcome to Space Age Rabbit, where I dive into forgotten and short lived TV shows, and I also count down the top 10 hits from each year as well. So if that interests you, please consider subscribing. Today, I will be looking at some of the forgotten and short lived shows of 1961. And my only requirement was that these shows premiered in 1961. So let's get right to my list. First up is Gunslinger. Gunslinger hoped to carve out a place in the crowded TV Western landscape. It was set in the Southwest following the conclusion of the Civil War. The show starred Tony Young as Cord, a gunslinger secretly working for the Army as an undercover lawman in the New Mexico Territory. Cord took his orders from Captain Zachary Wingate, played by veteran actor Preston Foster. But by 1961, television was overflowing with westerns, and viewers already had their favorites like Wagon Train, Bonanza, and Gunsmoke. Gunslinger ran for one season, 12 episodes, and aired on CBS on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
In the bottle and on your hair, the difference is clearly there. It's clear, it's clean, it's Vaseline hair tonic for your hair.
Next up is Way Out. Way Out mixed science fiction, horror, and dark satire. And the show was hosted by writer Roald Dahl, who is at this point best known for his short stories and was just a few short years away from writing one of my favorite books growing up, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Each week, Dahl would step on the screen with his dry, morbid sense of humor to introduce a weird little tale, often ending with a grim or ironic twist. Critics praised it, but audience just didn't connect with it. And network affiliates even reported complaints from parents who said the stories were frightening their children. Way Out ran for one season, 14 episodes, and aired on CBS on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
Way Out is brought to you by L&M. L&M unlocks a new world of fresh, smoking pleasure every time you light up.
Next up is Holiday Lodge. Holiday Lodge was set in a ski resort in the Sierra Nevadas. It starred Canadian comedian Johnny Wayne as Johnny Miller. Johnny Wayne's longtime real life comedy partner, Frank Schuster, was along for the ride, playing Frank Boone. And together they brought their trademark comedy to a weekly sitcom. Holiday Lodge aired as a summer replacement for The Jack Benny Show. And while the show didn't catch on, Wayne and Schuster continued performing together for another 3 decades, until Johnny Wayne's death in 1990, marking a friendship that began when these two met in grade school, that turned into a comedy partnership that lasted over 50 years. Holiday Lodge ran for one season, 13 episodes, and aired on CBS on Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Next up, One Happy Family. One Happy Family centered around newlyweds Dick and Penny Cooper, who couldn't afford a place of their own, so they moved in with Penny's parents and grandparents, all of them under the same roof. And with 3 generations crammed together, everyday life quickly turned into a string of comic misunderstandings and family mishaps. The series starred Dick Sargent, who later became better known as the second Darren on Bewitched. But with so many family sitcoms already on the air, One Happy Family didn't stand out and the show was canceled. One Happy Family ran for one season, 15 episodes, and aired on NBC on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern.
What's 46? What's 46? What's 46? Jello.
Jello. Jello for dessert tonight.
Next up, Westinghouse Preview Theater. Westinghouse Preview Theater, sponsored by Westinghouse, served as a showcase for unsold pilots. In the 1960s, TV networks produced far more pilots than they could ever air. So networks would package these unaired pilots into anthology series, giving viewers new shows during rerun season while recouping some of their production costs. Each week featured a new cast and a fresh storyline, but since it was just a summer stopgap, it never built much of an identity. Westinghouse Preview Theater ran for one season, 11 episodes, and aired on NBC on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
The real magic of a 61 Chevrolet is its jet smooth ride. Drive one at your Chevrolet dealers soon.
Next up, Ichabod and Me. Ichabod and Me followed widowed New York columnist Bob Major, who moves with his young son to a small town in New Hampshire, hoping for a quieter life. Bob buys the local paper from longtime owner Ichabod Adams. And Bob quickly finds that his big city ways clash with the long-standing traditions of small-town New England. Ichabod, who also happens to be the mayor and jack of all trades around town, often stepped in with fatherly advice to help Bob smooth things over. Along the way, Bob juggled raising his son, running the paper, and dealing with the quirky townsfolk. Ichabod and Me ran for one season, 36 episodes, and aired on CBS on Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Next up is Father of the Bride. Father of the Bride was based on the popular 1950 movie of the same name. The show was a light-hearted family comedy. Leon Ames starred as Stanley Banks, a father struggling to cope with his daughter Kay growing up, getting married, and starting a new life with her husband Buckley. From meeting the in-laws to dealing with wedding plans, the honeymoon, and the empty house Kay left behind, Stanley faced one challenge after another as he tried to adjust to his daughter leaving the nest. Father of the Bride ran for one season, 34 episodes, and aired on CBS on Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's what I have for this video, but I do have two other videos from 1961, so make sure to check them out. If you enjoyed this video and like this sort of content, please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.
Since hot dogs were born, when this little girl's grandma first went to the circus, French's Mustard has paddled more dogs than any other mustard going. It's a spicy national habit for paddling dogs or sparking the most tempting, tantalizing meal on a bun from ham on rye to Sky High Club. The 7 lively spices in French's Mustard are the best thing that's happened since the Earl of Sandwich.